Welcome to Conscious Wellness with Lori Ellis. Hi, I'm Lori, your host. This is the show where we dig deep. We rise above the noise, clear the clutter, and find out what really works. The positive, effective, and sustainable ways to create a healthier, happier, and stronger life. And I'm so excited to bring you this episode because I know you'll find value that you can apply today. And if you haven't yet, please click on the subscribe button. Please rate and review. Thank you so much, and I'll see you inside the episode. Hi and welcome. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm really excited to share this today because I'm going to talk to you about two words that I've started using in my own life every day very successfully to help me stay positive and forward thinking and really proactive. And they're two very simple words that I'm certain you've heard before, and I had heard them before, but I'm going to tell you the story of when I heard them again, and it just really resonated with me. And this was about 8 months ago, and I was sitting on a blanket in the park and just enjoying the day. I was feeding some squirrels some peanuts, and it was a beautiful sunny day. And I was watching this woman with her dog. They had started walking on the path near where I was sitting, and her dog was so beautiful and so sweet and so very well trained. And she was very kind to her dog, which I love to see. She was using lots of positive reinforcement. And I'm watching her just adore her dog. And clearly her dog just loved her so much right back. She was giving the dog these positive pats, and she would kneel down and hug her dog and just giving this dog so much love. And it was so beautiful to watch. And then they started walking past me and toward the bridge, which was just a few yards away. And there was a piece of trash on the path. And as they walked past that trash, I don't know if it was like a sandwich wrapper or something, but they're walking along, and then all of a sudden the dog snatches it up. And she notices it, she stops, and she looks down at her dog, and her dog looks up at her, and she says, "Leave it." She said it very firm, but not mean, just firm, still very loving. And the dog immediately dropped the trash, looked up at her, and then looked ahead, and they kept walking. And the dog never looked back at that wrapper, not once. And she's praising her dog and giving it this positive reinforcement again. And the dog is so happy. And they just keep going on their walk and going on with their fun day together. And it just resonated with me. It resonated in my heart. It resonated in my soul. Those two simple words, leave it. And here's why. It just all of a sudden made so much sense to me how we could use these two words in moments where we're wanting to change the thoughts that pop up in our mind. Maybe it's a self-condemning thought. Maybe it's an old habit of a self-criticizing thought. Maybe it's a negative thought. Maybe it's even critical of somebody else. Maybe you're finding yourself focused on the past. Maybe something reminded you of the past, and then your brain went there and you kind of got stuck in resentment or regret, or really any of those types of negative mindsets. And you know, as humans, it's going to happen. We're going to have days where we're not as present, we're not as aware, and we allow ourselves to kind of sink into that negativity or looking at the bad things instead of staying in gratitude and looking at the positive and expecting good things. And that's clearly a happier place to be, but we are human, and that does happen because we do have a brain full of memories and full of thoughts, and we do have old thought loops that run on these neural synapse loops that continue to pop up if we're not aware. And if we do have negative thoughts, and if you do sometimes get stuck in worry or dreading something and maybe expecting something bad to happen instead of shifting the thoughts and going into a positive state of expecting good things. So this is where these two words can really come in that moment and completely change everything, because just like what this woman did with her dog, we can treat the brain and those old thoughts and negative thoughts like the dog that's trying to pick up something that we don't want it to focus on. So when the brain is picking up something that we don't want to keep carrying around, with the awareness in the present moment of the thoughts that are coming in, we can say, leave it. and we can drop that thought and we can move on, and we can then change and focus on something positive. We can shift the scenario of what we want to think about and start intentionally thinking what we want to think and focusing on the opportunities and the positivity and the good things that can happen. And so we turn away from the bad thing, we drop it, we don't even look back. We let it go. We don't have to carry those thoughts around anymore. And it doesn't matter how many times you have to say, leave it. You just keep saying it. It's like bicep curls in the gym. You're not going to go in and do just one curl and be as strong as you want. You've got to keep going in. You get to keep curling that 5-pound dumbbell until you can curl 8. And then you get to keep curling the 8 until you're strong enough to curl 10 pounds. And then you keep curling the 10 until you're strong enough to curl the 12, and you get my point. It's like anything else in life. We keep showing up. We remind ourselves we keep getting to do the work. Every day is an opportunity to give ourselves the grace and the encouragement and the positivity, just like we give others. And when something pops up that we don't want to pick up and carry around, we simply say, leave it, and we drop it and we move on. And that's the message I have for you today. Short and sweet, but so powerful. And here's what I recommend. Write leave it on sticky notes and put them wherever you're going to see them. If you feel like this resonates with you the way that it did with me, and you can say to your mind, leave it, and you catch yourself worrying, you catch yourself thinking a negative thought, you catch yourself saying something negative to yourself, criticizing yourself, whatever it might be, you say, leave it. And when you see that little note, it's going to remind you. I have sticky notes everywhere that say, leave it. It's the first thing I see in the morning when I wake up. It's on my bathroom mirror. And for me, this is a positive. And so I get up and I do the work every day, just like I get up and I drink water right away every day, and I choose healthy food every day, and I move my body every day. And isn't that such an amazing gift? Every single day we get the opportunity to choose. We get the opportunity to choose what we consume in all areas of our lives and how that will affect us. And when those old programs pop up and those old things, and if they happen to be worry or negativity in some area, we get the option to be aware and intentionally stop that thought in its tracks and replace it with something positive. So if those two words resonate with you, leave it, and you feel like it's going to be helpful to you too, I really hope this gives you something you can utilize today. And I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear if this resonates. Send me a message to info@elliswellness.com or through the contact form on my website, elliswellness.com. And let me know. And in the next podcast, we're going to be talking about how stress affects the body's physiological responses and how it can cause acidity and oxidation, which leads to inflammation. And we're going to talk about how to reduce that. So definitely subscribe to this podcast to be notified when the next episode is published. And we'll continue learning together how to reduce the stress and improve happiness and improve your strength and reduce the inflammation that we don't want, improve our wellness in every area of life. And I thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. I'm so happy you were here for this episode of Conscious Wellness. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And if you like this show and you feel you're receiving valuable information and tools that you can apply to your life today, please share this with a friend. We want everyone to feel excited and intentional about their future. And we want you to get up every day feeling empowered to take positive action steps toward better wellness. If you haven't already, please subscribe and please rate and review. We're so grateful. And send us your questions. Let us know what topics you want to learn more about. You can send a message to info@elliswellness.com or the contact form at elliswellness.com, where you can also sign up for the newsletter. Thank you so much. Now go out there and have an amazing day.